moments ago. Facebook Live is new to all of us, and apparently we had some technical difficulties that grew ears out of my head. So thank you all. We're glad you enjoyed the laugh this morning, and welcome back to SCZ Live. I'm Shanae Anderson, and we have a really great treat today because we are back of house in our amphibian and reptile building, and we are going to look at how we care for our venomous animals. Will we still make sure that our keeper staff are safe as we go? So tell us a little bit about what you guys are going to do now.
So I'm Michelle and this is John. So today we are going to be hooking and tubing one of our southwestern speckled rattlesnakes. So this is something that we can do to get a closer look at them or do any medical procedures. So I'm going to go ahead and get this snake moved around and tubed up for you guys, and John's going to talk about it while I do it.
Okay, so let's give her plenty of space. So what she's going to do is remove the animal from its enclosure. We like to use a pair of hooks with the snakes. That way you get a little more purchase on the snake. The snake can balance on two hooks a little bit easier. We don't worry about animals falling off the hooks or sliding off the hooks as easily. So she'll bring it down to the floor. And so times we would have to do this, actually tubing a snake, for taking it to our vet hospital, our veterinary hospital, for any kind of animal care. We want to keep everybody safe, and so the snake will be put in the... let's just go on to the explanation. So what we're doing here, or Michelle is doing here, is she is trying to coax that snake to crawl into the tube. The snake's cooperating very well. Sometimes it takes quite a long time to crawl into the tube. And then you grab the snake where the tube meets the body. So now she has grip on the tube itself. She has grip on the snake's body. The dangerous part is right up here, safely contained. The snake cannot bite through this tube. And now the vet staff, our own staff, can get a very close look, up close and personal look at this snake while staying completely safe. The end of the tube, this far end of the tube, is open. Michelle has a good grip on the snake, so it can extend itself out maybe to about this far if it stretches completely out, but it can't reach the end of the tube. And now what we can do with a snake that is in the tube, excuse the noise, is we can use different tools to manipulate and do different things with the snake. So one thing we commonly see in caring for snakes is problematic sheds. And one of the ways that comes off, or one of the ways we see that, is with retained eye cap. So snakes have a clear eye cap that covers that eye, and when they shed, they shed that outer cap off with the rest of the shed, and sometimes that eye cap will stick on.
That was the rattle that you guys were hearing just a moment ago. So there we go. On cue almost there.
And so we can use tools to bring them down the tube towards the snake, and if there's any retained shed around the eye or the head or the back of the body here, we can take little bits of sponge or paper towel, wet those down, and use them to gently push along the side of the snake to remove those stuck sheds. We can coax with different tools the snake to actually open its mouth, so the vets can get a good look inside. So this is one thing we have to watch for, is sometimes the snakes can turn around in the tube, but you see the width of the snake back here keeps that snake from being able to travel back up the tube. So it simply righted itself. But as I was saying, you can get a good look inside the snake's mouth, see if all the tissue in the mouth is healthy. They can give injections to the snake. You can do blood draws if we want to get a blood sample. So we can probe a snake if we don't know whether it's male or female to determine the sex of the snake. So there's quite a bit we do with a snake that is tubed. And so anybody just tuning in, we're showing how we actually manipulate and get our hands on venomous snakes. We obviously don't hold these animals freehand. We want to make sure that the animal is always safely contained, being a venomous snake. And so we use these acrylic tubes to better secure the dangerous part of the snake, the fangs, the head, the mouth, up into this tube so that we can do whatever work we need to do on the snake, any kind of medical work or any kind of husbandry where we actually have to get our hands on the snake and keep her safe, keep the snake safe.
John, what would happen if there was an accident here? Do we practice venomous snake drills just like we do other drills here at the zoo?
Yes, we do multiple snake bite drills throughout the year. And we have, so all of our keepers go through training to work with venomous snakes. They do months of training, getting used to working with the various species. Working with a rattlesnake is different from working with a mamba. It's different from working with a spitting cobra. And so we want to make sure that our keepers are able to work with all of those species before they are cleared on working with venomous species. Beyond that, we have protocols in place, how we are to work the snakes. You'll see different zoos doing different techniques. We have rules that we follow that we feel are the safest for our keepers and for our animals. We also have written protocol, steps that are taken if there is a snake bite at the zoo. We keep antivenom for all of the snakes that there is an antivenom available for. We keep that at the zoo. In case there is a snake bite, we can take that and we can take that antivenom, that keeper, get them to the hospital and get that administered. So we have all of these plans in place for dealing with these potentially dangerous animals.
John, we had a couple of questions of how large will this particular type of snake get?
Michelle can answer that if you want to. This is typically adult size.
Yeah, they're not a very large species of rattlesnake. So this one's a female, so she's about adult size now. The males can get a little bigger, and then that's because they typically combat with other males in the spring. So this is about a good size for this animal.
Do we know how old this particular snake is?
This snake is, when did we get them in? Maybe 2 years ago. She's maybe about 4 years old. This animal came from the Los Angeles Zoo. So she was born there. So these snakes actually give live birth. And that's typical for all rattlesnakes.
What about the difference between venom and poison?
So a venomous animal is any animal that bites you and causes a reaction. And that could be anywhere from mild like a bee sting or very bad like a venomous snake. A poisonous animal is an animal where if you eat it, that's going to make you feel really sick. So frogs are poisonous, toads are poisonous. So it really just depends. They're all toxins. It's just kind of the word that you want to use between which type of toxin it is.
Great, thanks everybody. Michelle, John, we're so glad that you were able to join us today. We had lots of really great questions out there from everybody. A couple of things to know. We have so appreciated all of your comments thanking us for doing these live events. And from us here at the zoo, we want to thank you as well. We were all pretty social people here at the zoo, and having the zoo quiet is something that's new for us. So having your comments and your feedback and your thanks to us really makes a difference as well. Stay tuned at 2 o'clock. We're going to go to our vet hospital where we learn a little bit more about how we continue to care for animals even while we're closed.